going to view these images. They have a lot in common. For example, mothers. This is a mother of 7 children, and this is a mother of 2 children. However, the deeper meaning between these pictures is the concept of resilience. Resilience is the ability to overcome and adapt to difficult situations. An article from the Associated Press reported that Hurricane Maria created around $100 billion in damage. Good afternoon, my name is Joyeli Santos Rodriguez, and this is the impact of political status on Puerto Rico's socio-economic crisis. The Puerto Rico Status Act was voted on last year, and it meant that Puerto Ricans could vote on whether they wanted independence, statehood, or updated Commonwealth status to their island. It was voted on 2019, It was voted on 2022 by the House of Representatives, and it was passed. Now this year, it is waited to be voted on by the Senate, and if it is passed, Puerto Ricans will be able to vote on their political status. This leads to the question, would Puerto Rico overcome its socio-economic crisis more efficiently through statehood, independence, or becoming a free association with the United States? To which I argue that Puerto Rico would be able to overcome its socio-economic crisis in the best way through statehood. This is due to the increased federal aid, housing, and job opportunities that Puerto Rico will receive. Federal aid. To start off, Puerto Rico is currently a Commonwealth, and it cannot apply for bankruptcy without the permission of Congress. But if it were a state, the process to apply for bankruptcy would be easier, and it would help restructure Puerto Rico's debt, which is over $70 billion currently. Additionally, if the island was a state, the U.S. would be obligated to allow it to have additional federal aid. This additional federal aid could be used to rebuild the island, which can help more jobs and housing. This chart shows how federal programs would be affected by statehood in Puerto Rico. If you focus on these, the health programs would be likely to change. And this means that there will be a higher quality of healthcare programs, such as healthcare insurance programs, such as Medicare in Puerto Rico. And that will have a lot of effects as I talk on later. Housing. After Hurricane Maria in 2017, many Puerto Ricans lost their homes. And the American Bar Association reports that 92% of homes were damaged by Hurricane Maria. This caused a mass migration of people from Puerto Rico to the United States. If Puerto Rico joined statehood, the additional federal aid would help rebuild a lot of these houses that were destroyed due to Hurricane Maria. Another interesting problem in Puerto Rico that could be fixed by statehood is gentrification. Oxford Languages reports that gentrification is the process whereby the character of a poor urban area is changed by wealthier people moving in and improving houses and attracting new businesses, typically displacing current inhabitants in the process. This issue is very present in Puerto Rico. And this quote states that many Puerto Ricans say they can no longer afford to stay in their homes with outside investors buying up properties and driving up prices. This is due to the tax incentives and exemptions that Puerto Rico has. However, if Puerto Rico entered statehood, the tax incentives and exemptions would be reduced, which would make Puerto Rico a less attractive place to buy property in. Job opportunities. After Hurricane Maria, the population decreased due to the unemployment rate rising as well. As you can see here, 3.9% of Puerto Rico's population decreased after Hurricanes Maria and Irma struck. If Puerto Rico was able to achieve statehood, there would be more activity within the economy because, of course, more houses would be built and there would be more jobs available. As I stated before, healthcare is A very beneficial part of Puerto Rico as I stated before, statehood will help healthcare be benefited because currently there's $1.2 billion spent yearly on healthcare in Puerto Rico. But healthcare, the amount of healthcare money that would be spent would be increasing, which would, of course, increase the amount of jobs in healthcare. Additionally, tourism would increase as Puerto Rico becoming a state would allow it to have more attention directed towards itself. And tourism is a big part of Puerto Rico's economy. Okay. In conclusion, Puerto Rico's socioeconomic crisis would be resolved most efficiently through statehood. And while many agree with this, some do not. For example, some Puerto Ricans that are currently living on the island do not agree with this due to their over-resilient beliefs. The U.S. government has failed to help Puerto Rico to some extent, and this has caused Puerto Ricans to lose faith in the government and demand independence. However, that would not be a great choice because Puerto Rico is not ready for independence yet, and statehood would be the best option. Thank you. Any questions?
Don't worry about that.
This is my work cited.
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Let me just ask you questions. All right, first question. How did your research question evolve as you moved through the process?
Okay, so my research question started with like the economy of Puerto Rico, but I figured out that economy has also affected like the society in Puerto Rico, so I decided to make it I decided to focus on the socioeconomic aspect, and that helped me really get more evidence and like connect the claims, like the housing claims and the increased job opportunities and federal aid and all that. That helped me connect that.
All right, and explain the level of certainty that you have with your conclusion to this situation.
I'm very certain with my conclusion because I have thought a lot of research in it, and I believe that that is the correct solution because also like I used statistics from the U.S. Census, and I used like how Hurricane Maria affected that, and I like put it into perspective how Puerto Rico economy would be affected in statehood versus independence and free association with the United States.